Well, APL Apollo Tubes is a stock on a tear the last few days. Ever since I think one of the brokerage notes highlighted the kind of traction that structural tubes, which is the key product of APL Apollo, is gaining traction under government schemes. Now we all know the government capex is the capex that is driving business for a bunch of players in the infrastructure space, and APL Apollo Tubes would be no different in gaining benefit out of that. The fact that their existing business continues is quite another thing altogether. So we thought it's best to get in Mr. Deepak Goyal. He's the Group CFO of APL Apollo, joining us right now on the show to talk about his thoughts on what are the kind of opportunities that exist from where we are or where the company is to where the company can be over the course of the next few years, because their guidance for the kind of volume growth that they will do over the next 2-3 years is fairly impressive. Mr. Goyal, good having you. Thanks so much for taking the time out.
Yeah.
I would love to understand from you this note from Motilal Oswal. It's a broking house which is written about newer opportunities that come up for your business. Now, I would love to understand, when you did the Q4 con call or FY23 con call and you gave the guidance that you did for the kind of volume growth that you have, are you taking into account all of the newer opportunities, or is this guidance only on the back of the existing business opportunities that present themselves?
And guidance is a mix of both of the things, sir. From the existing business, we are taking 15 to 20% growth. And for the new opportunity, which is come from the new infrastructure opportunities, is the government is focusing on the modernization of the railway stations and new airports. And Jal Se Nal Se Jal schemes is the good attraction for our pipes, because we are very closely working with the government agencies on the how to reduce the cost of the project, how to speed up the projects, and how to operationals at earliest possible. So we are working with the different EPC contractors also to reduce the overall government project cost.
Okay.
So it's our guidance in the last call is for the 30 lakh tons in the FY24. It's a mix of both the things. We are taking the growth from the existing business, also from the new product also, which is come up in the new Raipur facility. This year we are going to make the 500 by 500 skates and precision tubes and other many more products in the same umbrella. And it's a mix of all these things.
Okay. So I'm trying to put some numbers together. 30 lakh tons in FY24, maybe 40 lakh tons in FY25, and maybe 50 lakh tons in FY26. That's the guidance given, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And this would include, therefore, capacities which include the new Raipur plant, also the plants that you're setting up in Kolkata as well as Dubai. Is that a correct assumption again?
Yes, sir. That will be Dubai will be operational by this year end, and Calcutta will be in the next year, sir.
And I'm guessing,
or any another location in the eastern India.
Okay. And I'm guessing that you will first look to stabilize the newly formed capacities before thinking of further capex.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the reason I asked for further capex, Mr. Goyal, is this note speaks about some fairly interesting opportunities. So I'll quote out some of the opportunities that they're talking about. You obviously know about them, but I would love for me and our viewers to understand these. So the note says that the structural steel tube of your company was approved for one of the railway station redevelopment project under the Amrit Bharat station scheme, which has identified 1,275 railway stations for redevelopment across India. Now, tell us about this opportunity. One, how many stations have been approved? Are you already working with some? What is the kind of business that could come in from each railway station over what time frame? Part 2. Okay, let's start with these and then I'll ask other questions around the railway scheme.
Right, sir. So we have approved for the 2 railway stations, sir. One is the Tirupati railway station and second one is the New Delhi railway stations. So in the Tirupati railway station, work is already started and we are started supplying from the Raipur plant also. In the New Delhi railway station, officials PI or the order is it's awaited. So it will be shortly started after the government allowed to the EPC contractor, and then they further place the order to us. So it's a big opportunity for the APL Apollo, because as you say, that is the almost 12,000 railway stations will be in the modernization phase. So if we approve in the early phase and it's a value addition to the railway stations also, and it's a cost savings and time savings for the government and other agencies also. So it will be a win-win situations, and APL Apollo is the single largest players in the country which fulfill all the demands on time.
Got it. What is the kind of opportunity per railway station, Mr. Goyal?
It's depending upon the sizes. It depends upon the size and structures and designs. In the New Delhi railway station, which is a big demand, and the small railway stations maybe 1,000 tons or 2,000 tons. So it depending upon the designs and areas. The
Okay.
multiple factors contribute to it, sir.
So I heard you say that the smaller stations could be 1,000 or 2,000 tons, but a large station like Delhi, for example, what could the size be? I know it's dependent upon the design, but rough.
Yeah, depends. Maybe it's the 5,000 to 10,000.
5,000 to 10,000 tons. And this is typically spread over a period of 2 years, I would presume, or 3 years?
Yeah. In the spread over the 1 to 2 years.
1 to 2 years. Okay. And do you have any sense, I mean, in terms of your conversations with the contractors who might be doing these redevelopment projects, do you have an idea of what is the quantum of railway stations that could come into redevelopment, let's say in FY24 and 25, let's say in the next 24 months? मतलब 1275 साथ में नहीं आएंगे. So how many stations will come for redevelopment?
And sir, no concrete data is available for us, but government is intent to redevelop all the railway stations in the next 5 years. So it's depending upon the different governments and different agencies, it will become faster as we expect.
Okay, so the plan you are saying is to redevelop these 1,275 railway stations under the Amrit Bharat scheme over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe shorter, sir.
Maybe shorter, but okay. At the topmost piece, about 5 years. Okay. Now the other thing, okay, and just last question: in these railway station redevelopment projects, would it be a larger portion of your value-added, high-margin steel tubes that will go, or would it be the normal? Because I believe you still have an equal balance of both the high-margin value-added products and the normal products. So, what kind of products go into this redevelopment?
Both, sir. Both. In every railway station, is required is the mix of the both. The smaller section also, the larger section also. So it's a mix of both the types, value added and normal products.
Okay. Then I've heard, of course, about the Nal Se Jal scheme benefiting you. There is also this mention of Nal Se Jal is nationwide, of course, but there's also this mention of the Uttar Pradesh government issuing tenders to build about 60,000 water tanks using structural steel tubes. So tell us about this whole water tanking Nal Se Jal opportunity. Please take your time and explain in detail. No rush.
Yeah, sir. Nal Se Jal is the, as you said, that in the UP, the government is intent to 60,000 new water tanks. Earlier, they are the civil structures which take a time to 1 to 2 years normally. If we convert it into the structure tube, it will be built up in only 15 days. So we are giving the presentation to the government and the chief secretary of the Uttar Pradesh, and they are intent to renegotiate and give the clearance to the EPC contractors to convert the RCC to the structural tubing structure. It is a big opportunity for us, and we given a one sample tower build up in the only 15 days and then show to the government. It's a trial run. So after that, they are keen to shift from the civil to the structural tubing structures.
Okay. And again, how large is an opportunity for this? I mean, because they are talking about building 60,000 tanks, maybe not all, maybe some, but is there some indication about what's the kind of opportunity size about in this?
Sir, it's a big opportunity, and every state have the set scheme, and over Prime Minister is giving the clear-cut direction to all the states, kindly speed up the works, and every state government has required these types of the tanks, and time is very shorter. So it will be a big opportunity for us, sir. All the pipe manufacturers, even I can say it's a big opportunity for all the pipe manufacturers. We are really working on the market expansions, not only for the APL Apollo, with the railway stations, with the water tank projects, the airports opportunity, where we are giving focus for the civil or build-up steel to the tubing structures. It's a big opportunity for all the tube manufacturers. Because we are the largest one, we have a maximum market share, APL Apollo will be the gain more. And we have the modern technology and we have the capacity available.
Okay. Okay. So let's now that we've established that the opportunity size is only growing at an even faster clip than before, I would love to understand, to your mind, Mr. Goyal, it's a known subject, but I'm still asking you. FY23 per se wasn't the most splendid of years. Q4 was about a 5% growth. Now you're talking about a volume growth in the current year, which is FY24, of nearly 30%, right?
Yes.
There is presumably going to be some bit of a price benefit coming as well, I presume, if the demand is so high. And with steel prices doing what they are, and if you have a tighter operating leverage benefit and higher specialty steel products or higher value-added products, then your margins will also grow. So tell us a bit about how does this opportunity translate into actual numbers for APL Apollo? The formal guidance, if you've given, I would love to understand that, as I'm sorry I've missed the formal guidance that you may have given.
Sir, we have targeting this year for the FY23, we have taken a target of 30 lakh tons of the pipe, sir, with the margins of it's around 5,000 plus. And for the FY25 is the 40 lakh tons with the margins of around 6,000 rupees plus. And for the FY26, we aiming with the 5 million tons. And for the better margin.
And better margins. So no, I'm just trying to understand if I kind of try to replicate, because you've told me in the past that higher or lower steel prices on an average over 4 quarters don't impact you as much, because for you it's a pass through, right? I'm presuming that is the case. So if that is the case, but if indeed the EBITDA per ton keeps on moving up, how does this translate into consolidated EBITDA margins for you as a company if everything goes right, say FY24 or FY25?
We are working on the product mixes. We are adding more value-added products in our portfolio. We have aiming presently our value-added product proportion is almost 55%. We are targeting 75% over the period of 3 years. So it will help us to improve our margins also, and our operating cost efficiency will also come up, and in raw material side also we will be the better negotiate the raw material price for our suppliers with the large group.
Got
so
it.
it will continue to increase our margins.
So FY26, when you do 5 million tons or 50 lakh tons of capacity, you will do it. You are aiming. Yeah, let's assume that you do that. Let's hope for the blue sky scenario. You would probably do that with 75% of the contribution coming in from value-added higher margin steel products.
Right.
Got it. Okay. What about... so therefore, I'm sure it will translate into higher EBITDA numbers. You may not be able to place it, but I guess it will be substantially higher than the 7% EBITDA margin that you clocked in Q4 FY23. Safe assumption?
Yes.
Substantially higher.
No, we are taking in the per ton basis. Already I said that it's not in the percentage. Percentage depending upon the raw material prices. If the raw material prices is suit up, then margins, percentage margins will come down. So fairly assumptions, it will be better than that.
Okay. A couple of things which are slightly global in nature. You have this Dubai plant. What are the plans thereof? I mean, is this the first of the many things that you will do on a global footprint? Part one. And part two, also this whole shift or thought around green steel. Tell us a bit about your internal plans on that front too.
Sir, Dubai plants is come up with the capacity of 0.3 million tons. It will be for catering the global markets. From the India, we are not competitive till now, because many times we are struggling with the international players. From the Dubai, we can supply to the US market, Europe market, and local UAE market also. Sir. It's a big market for us. So we are targeting 0.3 million ton from the Dubai, and it commissioned by the this year.
Okay. And is there plan to do more stuff on the global front, or will you do it after you test the waters of how this plant does?
After the
Got it. What about green steel and the short-term, long-term targets, if anything, of becoming green? Anything on that front? Nothing as of now. Nothing as of now. Okay. One final question. I'm sure your internal cash flows, actually two questions really. I remember a con call transcript that I'd read of your company a few quarters back, wherein your working capital days had shrunk quite meaningfully. I'm trying to understand what are the current internals on working capital and return on capital employed ratios, and what is the target thereof over the course of the next 2 years?
It will be the resultant figure, sir. Currently, we are targeting 35% of the ROC, sir. And cash flow, net working capital cycle will be remain within the single digits, sir, in the longer term also, because we are very good control over the stock management and the debtor management, sir.
Got it. Okay. My final question, because the opportunity size is so large, just the railway station opportunity that you spoke about, if done under 5 years, would mean substantial offtakes as well, in addition to the additional existing business that you have. Are you already thinking of expanding capacity after these capacities have come on stream? Are already plans being formed up for that?
Definitely, sir. If we will reach to the 4 million tons, then we will plan for the next over and above the 5 million tons. By the next year end, we have a capacity of 5 million tons. Presently, it's over capacity to 3.6 million tons, and after Dubai, it will be around 4 million tons. By next year, is the brownfield project expansion in all the plants, adding the one more machines and in the Raipur and the Calcutta, or so after that, our capacity will be 5 million tons. If we will achieve the 4 million at 80% capacity utilization, then we further add up 1 million tons. Year on year, we will grow like this.
Okay, but no immediate plans for FY24 to spruce up capacities from where they are right now. Just the existing ones that you announced. Just the ones that you have announced. Okay. Fair call. Mr. Goyal, all the best for executing all of these plans, and thank you so much for speaking to us today and giving us your thoughts.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And viewers, thanks for tuning in. It is none of the pleasure was entirely ours, Mr. Goyal. And viewers, thank you for tuning in.